All right, y'all, give a round of applause for your host and all the comedians you've had today so far. You know, I'm real happy to be doing comedy here at the Thirsty Duck because if I wasn't here, I'd be practicing my comedy at Fred Meyer's. Yeah. What you call a cashier is what I call my time to shine. Yeah. Right after I figured this out, they invented self-checkout. So if you like to steal, Isaiah Steele, you're welcome. As your last name was in it. All right, not into racist jokes, huh? Yeah, y'all remember? You went back. Thumbs up from the room. Yeah, y'all remember when Fred Meyer went on strike? That was the year I went on tour. Fred Meyer's all over Oregon. Yeah, see, in my marriage we got this thing. My wife cooks, I do the dishes, I do the laundry, and she irons. And I told my wife I was going to be performing here today. I said, babe, would you like to come watch me do comedy? She said, I'd much rather iron. She doesn't like ironing, but she also doesn't like my comedy.
Boo your wife. Boo your wife.
Boo my wife? Yeah. Everyone, boo my wife. Yeah. I'm going to clip this and make it my alarm every morning. What a bitch, right? Are y'all aware of self-driving cars? You heard about these things, right? They're like robots that drive the car. What I wonder is it a male robot or a female robot? I just want to know if I'm safe or not. I think one of the companies is Waymo. Yeah, it'd be way more safer if it was a male robot, am I right? No sexist jokes and no racist jokes. Where will I go with this? We were talking about Waldo earlier. I know all about Where's Waldo because I'm a reader. And sometimes I wonder, where's Waldo, you know? And I think I can't find him because he's doing karaoke somewhere, you know? And I think, what song would he be singing? And I think it'd be this one. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. That would have hit at the Asian restaurant on the street. All right. That's nice. This is going way better than I thought. I have all these notes that just say, Monty, believe in yourself. I need to write it over and over again. Now one letter from my wife. What a jerk. Yeah, boo her again. She's hot though. I'll tell you what. So I was watching a lot of Breaking Bad, and first thing I did is I got an RV. Turns out cooking meth is the big income winner in that episode. Not just the RV. Sounds like my plan was bad, but not Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's more like my backup plan. Like when this doesn't work out and I lose my house, I'll live in it. Hey! Believe in yourself, Monty. I had a boss from Utah, and he told me. And first thing I did was laugh. Because he's really short. And it must suck being from a place called Utah. When you ain't tall. You ain't tall at all. I used to have these real long dreadlocks, and I got them cut. I went to like a hairdresser, and she was like, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to make my dad proud." She says, "We only do haircuts here. Not miracles." Yeah, with this haircut, when I get pulled over, they say things like, "Hello, sir." But with my dreadlocks, they'd say things like, "Get out of the fucking car!" Yeah. Racist stuff. Y'all know about Foster the People? They have that song that goes, "Run, baby, run faster." Yeah, they actually came out with a new song this year. I don't know if you heard it. It goes like this. Ah! He has a gun! Why do you bring a gun to school? Run! You can tell by my energy, I thought that was gonna work. God damn. Shit. This is when the letters get bigger. Monty, chill. Relax, Monty. You're doing okay. My wife takes Zumba. Yeah, and I went to go pick her up from the gym the other day, and I brought roses, you know? And I don't know if you know about Zumba, but it's mostly old women and overweight women.
Oh my
you know?
God.
All right, my bad. Yeah. You should have seen the old women. They were pissed. They were already mad at my wife for being young and having perky tits, you know? They were like, man, this bitch has her youth and now roses? But the fat women were like, what, no chocolates? Yeah, when I get nervous, I tell jokes. Yeah, I went with my wife to get a pap smear, you know, which is, 3 minutes of comedy for me, that's like, time to tell jokes. So the lady, she was there. First thing she said is, you're here for the pap smear, right? And I was like, good thing they asked at the beginning, Imagine they asked that at the end. They're like, you're here for the pap smear, right? Right after the pap smear was done, she was like, the results are not going to come in for like 2 weeks. And I thought that was kind of like a douchebag thing to do, Immediately pull out and be like, listen, I'm not going to call you for a while. It doesn't matter if they're not laughing, you're cool. I needed a whole paper for that. So I was talking with the homie the other day, and we were talking to the Samoan guy, and my buddy was a little uncomfortable because the Samoan kept, saying the N-word. I know this is Oregon City, so you guys are like, that's cool. Yeah. But I told my buddy, I was like, in jail, the Samoans actually run with the blacks. And my buddy was like, run with the blacks? I thought running with scissors was dangerous. I'm happy I mic'd the back of the room. Yeah, he mentioned that joke was both childish and gangster. And I thought about it, I was like, these are my new jokes, guys. Everyone say, ooh. Yeah. He says that joke was both childish and gangster. And I'm thinking gangsters are pretty childish, They say things like, that's my toy, that's my territory, I was on that slide first, that was my corner. And at the end of the day, they all end up sleeping on bunk beds. In jail. Yeah. Yeah, I took my wife on a date. We went to the circus, And I was thinking about lion tamers. You all know about lion tamers, right? Man, it's hard to be manly in front of a lion tamer. Those motherfuckers are manly as fuck. And see me, I'm scared to talk to the homeless. And these guys are squaring up on lions. And I know what you're thinking, Monty, they're not called homeless. They're called houseless. But you wouldn't be trying to fucking correct me if I was a lion tamer, You would just back the fuck up or catch a whip, I'd be like, get back! Whoosh. Liberal. I also thought that was going to work out real good. Jeez. Yeah. I went on thank you so much. Oh my God. I was like, am I the only guy up here doing 20 minutes? Fuck. Oh my God.
Keep going.
Yeah, so I was with my wife and we went out on a date to get ice cream, and they had an advertisement. It said hand-mixed milkshakes. And I said, that sounds disgusting. No thank you. Please use the machine for my milkshake. Not your hand. What the fuck? Yeah. This is an impersonation of my wife doing the dishes. Check this out. She's like plate. She's like cup. And then she gets the knife. She's like No, I'm just kidding. I do the dishes, guys. It's more like, I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking kill myself. And she's like, Monty, you're a bitch. You won't do it.
Boo your wife.
Yeah, boo my wife. I've been bombing so much, I'm starting to get an Islamic following. Ever since I started doing comedy, she's like, I'm getting life insurance because if he doesn't die mid-bomb, someone will kill him. All right, guys, my name is Monty. Thanks for letting me come.